Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, using tarot to help you do the inner work, heal yourself, and create the life that you truly want to live. And create the earth together that we truly want to live on as well. Let's get some cards out. This is today's tarot. It's for all signs, and it's for Tuesday the 20th of May 2025. I hope you're doing well. Cards are slow coming out. There we go. We've got one now. Let's see what it is. It's make a wish. Nice. Make a wish. What would you like? What kind of life would you like? Now, we're going through this process of what we know. I knew I was going to be talking about this, you know. I just had my lunch and it was going through my mind, this exact thing. If I ask you what your wishes are, you're going to think within the constructs that you already know. And I was just thinking, like, if you asked a child, like, I love swimming. And when I was a child, if you asked me, like, how fast do you want to swim or how far do you want to swim? It would always be, for example, like within the confines of the pool. Do you know what I mean? Or how fast I'd seen someone else swimming, like a friend. Suzanne, she used to swim really fast. She was the fastest in my school. And so my wishes would always be within the confines of what I know. Our wishes now, they need to be outside of those confines of what we know. So if I ask you what your goals are, you might be thinking like a financial goal, and you're thinking financial goal within capitalism, within these structures and these structures. We need to think outside of that now. Those things are falling away. So we need to make clearer wishes than that, more basic wishes than that, more barefoot on the earth kind of wishes than that. If anything is possible, what would you wish for? How do you truly want to live? What would make you feel most at peace, joy, bliss? Purification, letting things go, purifying ourselves. I need to read this out. I never read these cards out, but I've just been told to, so I'm going to. Meet Calico, the maven of purification. She shows up in our life when it's time to let go of everything that no longer serves us. Everything. Long ago, she used to be a sad little kitty and believed that's just who she was. And perhaps it was just her circumstances, huh? When she realized that sadness was not her at all, but a heavy cloak she'd been wearing for much too long, she let the cloak drop off her shoulders and felt as light as air. Now she is simply pure being. What old beliefs, stagnant energy, or unhealthy habits can you toss to the wind in order to set yourself free? Or in other words, letting go of all those structures that we've been in. Who are you? Who are you now? Who are you going to be? Now we're in this goop. You know you've been a caterpillar and you've been having caterpillar kind of wishes and goals. But we're going to come out of this goop as butterflies. Make a wish from that perspective. Self-care. Self-care. Put yourself first and your self-care. Drowning doesn't always require water. Okay. Taking good care of yourself. Letting yourself off the hook of the things that you think you should be doing right now. Really tune into yourself. Really tuning into yourself every single morning. Asking yourself what it is that you want to do. How you feel, and go with that. Taking the best, very best care of yourself. Okay, Tarot. What have you got for us today, please? Page of Wands is exciting news. Okay, whenever that happens, when two cards come out like that, I ask my guys, shall I take them together or separately? And they were ambiguous, and it's the first time that has ever happened. They said either. Either together. So I've decided I'm going to take them separately. The Five of Cups is regrets. It's looking at us what has gone before or what we've lost. It could be grief as well, this. Regrets, grief, or whatever has been lost. We've got the Knight of Swords, which is impulsive movement. Quick, impulsive movement forward. Okay. Page of Wands, exciting news. Or news that lifts you up in some kind of way, inspires you, ignites your passion. Those two are coming out, and that one's coming out. So the Ten of Emotions, this is about your happily ever after, what's really going to warm your heart. Think passion, bliss, peace, the things that make your heart truly happy. 9 of Voices is anxiety, sleepless nights, and then the 6 of Inspiration is about true success. Okay, so we're letting anxiety go and moving toward true success. Wishes that we've made in the past haven't truly been this 10 of emotions. They have been restricted, or they've been lower level. We've been wishing for things that we thought would get us to this point. So we might have been wishing for a certain amount of money or for a property or something like that. That's wishing within those structures. Within the structures that we actually, that certain people, here's the thing, right? How is it that we got to a place where someone can decide, a person can own the resources on the planet? It's not there for everybody, no. It's just for this one person, and then they can sell it. How did we even get to that point? How is it that one person can claim the resources on a planet that we're all on? That makes no sense, right? But that's what's happened. But in light of that, it's like we were all born into that illusion that one person owns the planet and they've got access to the resources and we don't, and that we have to earn the right to those resources somehow. Bizarre, isn't it, when you think of it like that? But in that paradigm, our wishes have been, well, I need the resources in order to buy the resources from the planet, that man that seems to own the planet. You know, it's all a mess. It's all a mess, isn't it? And so our wishes were coming from anxiety before. Now, our wishes were coming from within that structure before. And when we let go of the things causing us anxieties, in other words, when we let go of those, the hurdles, the blockages, the hurdles, the walls that we had up, the ones that had ownership, all of that, when we let go of all that anxiety, the 6 of Inspiration shows us that we are successful. We're successful within ourselves. So success is within the self. It's how we feel about ourselves, how we can function, how we can flow in the world. That is true success. So all of your wishes for your happily ever after are probably rooted in the anxious state of, I need to get a thing in order to get it from that man, to get the resources from the man. But what if the resources were everybody's? So you're not even going to think of manifesting a house, because a house is about ownership of a resource, right? A resource that we all should have access to. How can someone own the water and the dirt? It really makes no sense, does it? It really makes no sense at all. Okay. So integration and grounding. So grounding, and that's what I keep on getting. I keep on seeing that Page of Pentacles, and it's like bare feet on the earth. What is it that you want now? What are you dreaming of now? Integration and grounding from this very grounded place of this me, human being, just like everyone else, barefoot on the ground, on the earth. We all have access to all the resources. What would truly make me happy? And we know happiness is an internal job, and that's what the 9 of Voices, 6 of Inspiration is saying, is you get to be happy and have the resources too. We can share the resources. And it is absolutely insanity when you look at it, isn't it? When you look at it clearly and you go, there's plenty of food. There's plenty of food for everybody. But some people have been hoarding it and even throwing it away when some people are hungry. Is that insane? Is that insane? Because they're going like, no, I'm not going to have the resources that I want from the other man that's got it and it's owning that without me keeping this from you and you giving something for it. It's just like, perpetuating madness. 3 of Cups. No, 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is regret. It's grief for what we've been through. The 5 of Emotions, it's closed our hearts down for sure, right? We've had to close our hearts down because we've had to perpetuate it. Okay, so I want some resources. I want to eat. I want to live in a house, and so I have to play along with it, with this craziness. And so it's closed our hearts down. Well, the Wheel of Fortune, things are changing right now. Things are changing, and that instigation with this Wheel of Fortune, it's coming from the earth itself. We don't need to figure it out. We just need to go along with this changing things, and things will be becoming much clearer. Saying things too much, but it's all going to be becoming much clearer to us. There's awakenings of like, yes, this absolute madness. We've been living in madness. How did we ever go along with that? It's all good. It's behind that. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We're meant to be awakening right now, and the changes are supposed to be happening right now. So regrets, grief, or realizing how close your heart has been compared to what it could be coming up. And realizing the weirdness that we've been in of ownership and stuff like that too. The Knight of Swords. So taking swift action. Eight of Materials, getting paid what you're worth. Well, let's call this something different now. We're moving out of that paradigm. So Eight of Materials is about having the resources that are truly due to you and everybody. The Four of Voices, relaxation, and the Nine of Materials, single independent, not having to do it all yourself. Not having to do it all yourself. So there's more of a community feel here. So we've got to feel worthy as human beings to the resources of the planet. The Earth is nodding its head to that. Of course. I think the Earth has been going, oh, I just want that there's 5 people to have all the resources and everyone else has got to struggle. No, we don't find that. And if you have been in tune and nature's been giving to you, things like papaya trees falling down and dropping all the fruit on your doorstep, like it happened to me. Things like that. Like, you know, the Earth has always wanted us all to have the resources. So inner journey. So we've all got our inner journey toward that, and I think different cultures will have it slightly differently. We've all got slightly different beliefs, and so we'll have to pick it apart with whatever culture and belief system that you've had about that. But there's an inner journey to go through here about resources and taking swift action on it as well. So changing it. We can't change the bigger structures, right? But we can say, yeah, I'm not playing that game anymore because it's insane. Literally insane. Okay, so what about masculine and feminine energies? Big part of this shift is about masculine and feminine energies kind of equaling out, finding that balance within ourselves. Feminine rising, not so much the masculine being brought down. It's about patriarchy being disbanded. Not toward a matriarchy, but toward equalization, which requires a lifting up of both the masculine and feminine energies. Patriarchy isn't a lifted, it's not a divine masculine energy. Control structures are not divine. So, needing to lift both the feminine and the masculine energies up. 10 of Wands, the burdens of all of this. It's not on our shoulders, we just need to go with the flow. There is a momentum here in the earth. The earth and the universe, in fact, is leading the way. We just need to go along with it. The 6 of Cups, the past energy, and the 5 of Pentacles. Feeling like we don't know, we haven't got the key, we don't know, we can't figure it out. We don't need to figure it out, we really don't. We don't even need to envision it. We can envision our lives ourselves with complete freedom and access to all the resources that we want. We can envision that. You might like to envision that. And it's not about being single independent too. It's not like, so fending for myself. You know, like that whole off-grid movement, that is kind of still within the paradigm. Well, I'll barricade myself off and have these things that I own and provide everything for myself because I don't trust nature, people, everything. It's not about that. It's coming together in communities, not having to do it all ourselves. So this 10 of Wands is this burdensome kind of an energy. Or you might even be feeling the burdens of having to do everything ourselves as we have, even if it's like I've got to do whatever it is I can to earn enough money to pay that man that's got all the resources there. Could be that. Yeah. Ooh. Put one foot in front of the other, says the 7 of Materials, as everything falls away, as it all falls away. So these structures, these burdensome structures are falling away now. All we need to do, 7 of Materials, is put one foot in front of the other. In other words, we don't need to figure this out. This shift is happening as these structures fall away. We'll be shown the way. It'll come naturally, in fact, because it'll be about sharing amongst the people that are around us. Small scale. It's going to start small scale. Slow but steady. Retreat Yeah, it's more smaller energies is what I'm feeling, an emotional release. We just got to deal with the emotions and open our hearts up. It's been very hard to be open-hearted, haven't it? We were kind of born naturally open-hearted, then we have to shut it down because then we're like taught, but you're in competition with everyone else. And it's like, I've got to play. I've got to play. In order to get by, I've got to play. Damn. 6 of Cups, so the past energy. Could be getting to this point on a global scale of like, what have we been doing to ourselves? 6 of Emotions, same card, the past. What about the past? Probably just what I was saying, like, what have we been doing to ourselves? Well, we're stepping into a new future now, and it's unknown, and we need to be courageous in that. There are better ways. There's got to be better ways. We'll find them. There are better ways. You know, I've known for a while. We have so many resources, all the technology and everything that we know, and all the resources and the skills that we've got for every single being on this planet to be living pure bliss and amazing lives. And I've been looking around and it's just like there's a greedy people with trillions, billions, trillions of dollars, all the resources, and collecting even more of them, buying up all of the small business and collecting even more of them. It's like, you won already. What the hell are you doing? Like, nobody's happy, not even you. They're not happy. Anyway, so we're stepping into something new. We don't know what it's going to look like. There's forgiveness here. So we're not blaming them. The ones that just played the game better and they were at the top, they're not to blame. They didn't instigate this. They weren't the instigators of it. They were just players of it, just like us, and they did better than everyone else at the game, is all it is. How can they be winners of it when they were just better at shutting their hearts down even better than we could? And we had to shut our hearts down in order to play too. So they're suffering more. The hearts are shut down. They're more off the soul track. That's got to be hard, right? So forgiveness of them. 5 of Pentacles. But I can't see the way. I don't see the key. I feel like I'm trapped. How can we get out of this? Because we're still in it. Is what you could be believing here. Love is in the Ace of Emotions. Fall in love. The 5 of Pentacles, but I'm alone and I don't have the resources to make a change. It could be telling yourself a story like that. But fall in love with somebody. It's like the universe is saying, like, do something really that'll bring you joy. Fall in love with someone. Have some fun. Like, don't focus on the hard things and the things that are falling away. Don't focus on what you can't do. Start living that bliss right now. And expect the whole world to sort itself out, because it will. The biggest shifts are going to be made by those that are more out of alignment. We need to open our hearts right now. We need to get over it, the emotional release and all of that. We need to let go. We need to let go right now. Letting go. We need to honor our energy, and we need to move ourselves into balance. So those of us that we didn't shut our hearts down too much, but we did. Those of us that stayed almost in alignment with ourselves, but not completely. Those of us that followed mostly our soul's path, but we had to earn money because I like eating and I like living in a house too, and I like other things as well. And so, yeah, we had to play along. We need to let go of that and really honor our own energy and pat ourselves on the back for doing well. For doing our very best not to lose ourselves, and doing our very best to keep our hearts open, and doing our very best to not compromise our souls and our spirits while we played along. And perhaps having compassion and empathy for those that played it the best, so the ones that shut their hearts down the very most, the ones that compromise their souls and their spirits the most. Hard path for them, and they're the ones that are making the biggest changes right now. So compassion and empathy for them. Okay, what else in the energies today? Could be storms today as well. It's been more storms. A lot of electrical activity. The sun has been blasting us with all kinds of geomagnetic storms and everything. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of storms, physical storms. Lightning, control your anger or you'll be sorry. Definitely not a time to be pointing finger at people as well. But yeah, I'm just getting like physical storms here too. We've got an angel, so earthquakes and all that kind of stuff, and physical storms too. Angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm, but don't worry, you're going to be protected. Broken bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. Something that you've been trying to fix yourself, or trying to get through this bridge goop kind of phase yourself, trying to push it forward. You can't. Waiting on the world to change. Table, there's hard work ahead. So relax right now, because there's hard work ahead as we're constructing these new what systems, whatever they are. We're going to have some kind of systems, equality kind of systems. There's, yeah, hard work ahead, if not just for food, you know. Food and housing. Oh, good advice from a wise person. We have a key, successful outcome to your problems. The key's right there. And a nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Loving community, loving family, love. Time to get into our hearts right now, to soften them up. As we're going through this goopy kind of process, in order to be butterflies, we need to soften our hearts now. We need to acknowledge that we all have played along, which requires a hardening of our hearts, closing down of our hearts somewhat to even be able to play that selfish game that we've had to play. Now, how best to deal with these energies today is the female King of Cups. So it's nurturing your heart. See, she's letting good ships in there, only the good ships, because she's got a good ship. So she's been discerning about who she lets in and the energy she lets in her life. This could be about social media. It's like, stop looking at it. I had to clean up my feed on Facebook. I only go on there for work, but when I was going on there for work, I'd go to post something and I'd get caught up in all of this garbage that was on there. And it's like, what am I doing? I'd shut it down. I'm like, I don't want to look at that stuff and look at the comments on there. I don't want to look at that stuff. And then 2 minutes later, I'd be like, oh, I was supposed to be posting something on there for the business stuff. So I'd go back on and really try not to look at the stuff that was on there. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to make it easier for myself. And so I went into Facebook and I started clicking on the crosses, and anything negative, any of that stuff. I'm like, I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see this anymore. And I don't want to see this anymore. And I was ruthless. I was ruthless until I got down, like, even if it's my friends, if you're like passing that stuff on, sorry, I'm closing you down on that. I'm not unfriending you or anything like that, but I don't want to see more of this, you know. That cross in the top left corner, right corner, I just did that. And now when I go on it, now I like see my friends' stuff and that's it. And so now I'm just like, oh, that's nice. And then I post what I'm meant to be posting and I'm off there. So you might need like boundaries with yourself like that. Just take good care of your heart, says the King of Cups. Take good care of your heart right now. In whatever way you need to do that. Honoring your energy, don't forget that. Well, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click that subscribe button if you're new. Leave me a comment as well. What is this bringing up for you? Are you feeling like you're coming out of the other end of this goopy kind of process? Have you got like a clear vision of living in communities like that? I know it's easier for me because I've been living on a small island in a close-knit community here, very much a Thai community where they never lost that. They never lost that aspect of taking care of each other. But we do have capitalism here as well, so it's an easier transition. It will be an easier transition from here in this kind of a community. If you're living in a city in the Western world, whew, that's going to be tricky. That is going to be tricky, but be very careful and be taking good care of your heart right now. If you'd like more from me, sign up for my free class. You'll see a link to it just there on my website, Beyond Healing and Into the Life That You Truly Desire and Deserve. And meditate with me right there. There's a new meditation every single week that I'm doing. Meditate every day. Do that every day. Along with me, I'll be helping you through the transitions that are going on at the moment. Have the best day ever, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.